A warm welcome to all the amazing minds present here today. We are thrilled to have you join us for CV Building Workshop, an insightful event that promises to be filled with knowledge, inspiration, and engaging discussion. This event is a collaborative initiative from CSPRE, and today we have our esteemed guest speaker, Ms. Naina Chawla, alongside Bhumi Srivastav, founder of CSPRE. Today, I, Anjali Gupta, and Ashvi have the privilege of facilitating this event. Being a part of CSPRE team has been an incredible journey of growth, collaboration, and shared passion. This team is more than just an association. It's a close-knit family where every member has contributed to an enriching learning experience that has truly been worth every moment. The insight, friendship, and transformative lessons I've gained here continue to shape my journey, and I'm honored to bring that energy into this event. Before we move ahead, let's take a moment to ensure that our virtual space is welcoming and interactive. Feel free to use the chat box to engage, share your thoughts, and participate in discussion. We are dropping the links to our socials in the chats. Make sure to follow us for the latest updates, insights, and exciting opportunities. Important instructions. Attendance will be noted throughout the event and will be required till the end of the event for certification eligibility. Any form of misconduct, inappropriate behavior, or disruption during the session will not be tolerated. Participants engaging in such activities will be immediately removed from the event. Please ensure your microphone remains muted and unless asked to speak to maintain a smooth and engaging discussion. We are delighted to have with us Bhumi Srivastav, the brilliant mind behind CSPRE, the platform dedicated to psychological learning and community engagement. Alongside her, we have Akash Srivastav, the director of CSPRE since its inception, who has played a pivotal role in shaping and leading the platform to where it stands today. CSPRE aims to create a space where individuals can live, love, and learn psychology through insightful discussions, collaborations, and research initiatives. Bhumi has worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between academic psychology and real world applications, making mental health awareness accessible to all. Now, I would like to introduce our speaker for today, Naina Chawla. She is a MSc Clinical Psychology student at Christ University with extensive experience in psychodiagnostic, therapy, and research. She has trained at Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, World Brain Center, Amar Jawan Jyoti Rehabilitation Center, and Deel Dayal Upadhyay Hospital, working with diverse population including children, teenager, adult, and inpatients. Her experience spans case history taking, psychological assessment, therapy for anxiety, depression, and substance abuse, and psychoeducation. As part of Delhi government's SMHI project, she contributed to research, curriculum development, and intervention design. She has also worked on Birth-Born project, focusing on data collection and analysis. Beyond clinical work, Naina is a one-on-one peer trainer, providing guidance and counseling to students at her college. She also engages in mental health advocacy through social media. Let's give her a virtual round of applause, guys. Over to you, Miss Naina.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you, Anjali, for such sweet introduction. Thank you, Bhumi. Thank you, Ashvi. Thank you, Akash, and the whole team for calling me here. I'm grateful. Thank you for all the hearts, too. Okay. So, without wasting more time, I would not like to give a lot of information about myself. I think Anjali has said a lot. And thank you so much for that, Anjali. Without wasting more time and taking more of your time, I'll begin with the presentation now. But before beginning, can I please ask how many of you have ever made a CV? I can see people raising hands. That's great. Okay, okay. I can see a lot of people raising their hands. In case you have made a CV earlier, if it's possible, can you just guys open that CV? I mean, just with yourself so that you can, kind of relate with whatever I'm saying. Can you put a thumbs up for this? Great, 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 Priyanka, Dolly. Okay, I'll just give 2 minutes to each and everyone. Please open the last resume that you've made. Next slide. Till the time you guys are opening your resume, I'll just talk about the objectives that we have for today's workshop so that you guys are clear with the goals that we're going to do. Our main part of this session is to understand why your CV is so important and how you should actually design a CV for yourself. And what should be your main components that you should add in a CV while you're drafting it. At the same time, how much craft, how can you make your CV effective? At the same time, you can enhance the visual appealing of that CV, right? And also, your CV is mainly for applying for jobs, internships, and every sort of work experience that you want to build and you want to work for, right? So your main CV would depend upon the organization, the next organization that you're going to apply for. So we will be covering all the aspects today. I just want this session to be more interactive. So in case anybody has any sort of doubt or they want to add anything in between, just you know, type it down in the comment section and then I can note it down and get back to it, right? I hope everybody has opened their CVs, the last CV that they made. If yes, just give a thumbs up. Also, if it is fine for people, can we switch on our cameras if it is comfortable? It becomes more interactive that way. Hello, Suchita ji.
Hi.
Okay, next slide. Now we are officially beginning with the components of a CV. Like a CV would consist mainly six components, that is six different headings. The very first one is our contact information. I'll be just briefly telling you about all the six components because I'll be sharing all the details in an exaggerated way, one by one, right? So right now I'm just giving you a brief of all the six components. The first one is our contact information, where you need to mention your name, your demographics, your professional email ID, your phone number, and whatever you want to share to someone in a professional way. The second one is our education. Every sort of education that you have done, your degree or institution, year of graduation or year of passing out the specific course or the major highlight or any sort of achievement that you have, be it a course, be it a diploma, anything. Then comes the certification and training. For example, you're in the field of psychology. You may pursue more therapies and specific training. So you can add that here. And then officially after this two segment, your education and all the details about your degrees and everything finishes here. And then we come up with the professional summary. Next slide. In the professional summary, you will be adding all the details that you have, your work experience, highlighting each and everything that you've done till now. And also make sure that whatever application you're going to make right now, after making the CV, you add the information that is more relevant and more connecting with the organization that you're going to apply for. This kind of enhances your chances of getting towards the interview segment. Then comes the skills. Now you must have a lot of skills, but I really want you to add skills in a more objective and specific manner that are related to the organization for which you're applying for, because they will be needing more skills that are more relevant to them. And the last segment is I've added it here volunteer work. But in case you do not have any volunteer work, you can add maybe your extracurricular. If you have any sort of social media handle, you can add about that. If you have any hobbies, extracurricular skills that are aligning with the job environment or the professional environment, you can talk about that here, or anything that you have. Also, you can also, if you do not have anything and you're kind of in bachelor's right now and you do not have much of experience in that case, you can give this segment as contact details, where you can just use the length of the page, because you actually want to cover the page itself, so you can use the space like that. Next. Okay, now that we are coming on the formatting part, I would like to ask you all, how long is your current CV? How many pages does it consist of? You can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat box.
Two
One, two,
page.
one, three, three, two, two. Hmm. One, two. Okay, so as I can see, the majority number of people have made their CV in two, one, or three pages. That's what the number came, right? Great job. Okay. Now coming to the formatting and the designing tips, it is a humble request that you cover your CV in maximum of two pages and minimum of one, right? Try to take it as long as just two pages and not more than that. In case you have a lot of experiences, I know it is very difficult to skip some experiences because you have worked for it, but try to choose experiences that are relevant for this specific organization where you are applying. Because if your CV is getting cleared and you're going for the interview, then you can make a whole story in a chronological order where you can explain about all the experiences that you've had, even if you have not mentioned it in your CV. This is for people who have a lot of experiences and their resume is kind of stretching more than in two pages. They can do this way because they want to show relevant information, right? You want to get the job and you want to make your CV more appealing. At the same time, it should be efficient and could look kind of effective for the organization where you're applying for. The second tip is that be consistent with the font. Try to use fonts that are more professional, that are more relevant, that are more consistent, and that looks appealing. For example, Arial or Times New Roman. Try to choose such fonts that are understandable, which are easy to understand, and be consistent with them. Please do not change your font. For example, if I've written formatting and design here and I change the font down with the bullet points, it will not look that appealing. At the same time, it will not look professional also. Then comes the proper spacing and alignment. This spacing and alignment thing happens when you make your CV in Canva. You have to be very, very, very careful of the spacing and alignment that you're using. Your alignment should be equal. It should be consistent. Please keep that in mind, because the ATS will automatically reject your resumes if your alignments are not consistent or if your spacing is not consistent. Also, another point is using bullet points rather than using long paragraphs. Try to avoid paragraphs. Actually, you should actually not use paragraphs even if you have less experience. It is okay. Use objective points. Do not use paragraph. Do not use I, me, the, that. Please don't use such terms. Be very objective, be very specific, and kind of be in a short word limit kind of thing. And avoid unnecessary graphics. Please do not use your picture on your resume. Try avoiding adding leaves or anything like that, which you can maybe see on Canva's resume. Try avoiding using that. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. We're officially beginning with the six components that I introduced you. In case right now, till the time we have covered these things, in case you have any sort of doubt, you can write down in the chat box before we begin with the six components, or you can unmute yourself and ask me. Is everybody clear? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, then I'll continue with the components. Okay. The very first one is the header section. Now, as you can see, I've added a section here that is from my resume, and you can clearly see that I've added my name in bold letter and it is in capital letter too. So, in case anybody who picks up my resume, the first thing that person will notice is my name, my phone number. Use information in such a way that it is accessible and visible. So your header section should be very precise. It should consist of just 2 to 3 things and it should be visible clearly, right? Your name should be in bold and your email ID should be mentioned and it should be a professional email ID. Okay, how many people have professional email IDs here? Shivaji, you have it. Soumya has it. Priyanka has it. Great job. Manat has it. Great job. Okay. In case you guys have not made a professional email ID, please do the same and try avoiding an email ID which would consist of double letters. For example, if my name is Naina and if I create an email ID with NAINAA, the chances are that AA may the email ID will kind of mismatch. So try avoiding such things. Try avoiding casual names, your nicknames. Use your full name. If I use Naina Chawla as an official name, I'll use this as my professional email ID in my professional email ID as well, right? So if you have not made it, please make it. If you have it, well done. Add it here in the header section. Along with that, another thing that you can add is your LinkedIn profile. Now, when they open a resume, if they do not have much time to go through the resume, the only thing that they can do is opening your LinkedIn. At the same time, your LinkedIn will help them verify all your details, which will be a more reliable resource, right? How many of you have added LinkedIn profile in your CV, the current CV that you have opened? Great. Okay, a lot of people have not added. The people who have not added, do you guys know how to add it? The ones who have added, can you guys help the people who have not added? Pankaj, have you not added or you do not want to help?
I want help. I don't add it right now.
Okay, okay, okay. People who have added, can you guys help them? Can you tell how to add it? Okay, I'll do that. I'll help you out, Pankaj. Don't worry. There's a link on your LinkedIn profile. When you open your LinkedIn profile, there is a link to share your LinkedIn. You can copy that link and paste it on your CV in the header section itself in the form of a link. So whenever your CV is scanned through an ATS, your LinkedIn profile will come up automatically. Okay? Okay. We're moving to the next component. Next slide. Coming to the education section. Now, Tell me, according to you, what should you add in your education section? Guys, you can write it down in the comment.
Can I say?
Yeah, sure, please.
See, education section, you can add your higher secondary school wherever you have done and
Hmm.
in which year you have done. If you can add what the grade was, it's okay.
Hmm.
Otherwise, then your bachelor's degree. Then, if you have done your master's degree, that is education section. And you have to mention the year when you have completed that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
It's not necessary to add the grade or whatever what you have got. And apart from that, if you have done any other course like diploma course or like I have done my MA, double MA, and then diploma courses and many things. So you can keep adding those because those are also, like what you say, cherry on the cake. So it's like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Suchita ji, for covering this section for me. Okay. As Suchita ji mentioned, you can add all the information that you have regarding your education, all your education background, your schooling. For example, if you're pursuing your bachelor's right now, you can go for your 10th, 12th, and then your bachelor's degree, the course, the institution name, the year, and the result. In case you're in bachelor's right now and your result, you do not have your result, you can write awaited there, or you can also leave it blank and just add a slash here, so you have a hyphen there, and that's fine, right? In case you're doing your PhD maybe, so in that case you do not have to mention your class 10th or 12th marks. If you feel like adding it, you can add if you have a lot of details, because I believe if you're doing your PhD, you would have a lot of internships, job, a lot of things. In that case, you need to be very mindful of whatever you're using and how much space you're using, so you can avoid using, your 10th grade marks here. You can avoid putting that in here, right? And also, I've made it in bullet pointers. So in that way, you are being very precise and being very specific, so they don't have to kind of read a whole paragraph. Rather, they can just read the course, the institution name, year, and result. Clear cut, right? So make it very like small, precise, and clear cut, objective. Next slide. Okay, coming to the work experience and internships, or whatever you have earned or worked anywhere. Now I want you to add it in certain way. First of all, I want to answer you one question. When we talk about work experiences, how many of you have a lot of experiences and how many of you are very new to the working sector, or how many of you have like really less work experience right now? You can be honest here so that I can help you out in managing both the ways. New, just two, less work experience, new here, less, less, lots of, 10 years experience, less work experience, very new, almost near to none. Okay. Okay, so I'll be giving you tactics for both these things. If you're very new, and if you have, for example, just maybe two experiences, now in that case, what you can do is you want to utilize the space in both the cases. In the first case, where you have less experience, in that case, what you can do is you can make more of bullet pointers. I mean, if you worked somewhere, you would have done things. So rather than making it in a paragraph to make it long, it will look more irrelevant, at the same time very time consuming for the person who is reading your resume. So we want it to be specific, but it's not that you cannot add details in specific. You will add your details in specific. If you have two experiences, try to make it long but objectives in pointers. Can you change the slide? For example, previous slide, right? This one, slide number 12. Right. For example, if you have just two experiences, like I've mentioned here, one is Deen Dayal Upadhyay Hospital and one is World Brain Center Hospital. And I just have just two experiences. Let's just assume that. Now, in that case, I want to use the space as much as possible because I have just two experiences and I want to fill maybe at least 1.5 page of a resume and I want to make it look big. I'll add more of experiences, but in a specific way. I've taken case histories there. So rather than writing, I've taken case histories there. I have done detailed assessments. I've written strengthen case history taking skills through detailed patient assessments. Both my things are added here, but in a specific way, right? Now, I've also kind of learned about therapy, read about therapy, observed therapy session. So I've added that also here, but in a specific and a precise way. So you add whatever you have done, but in a specific and a precise way, so that you can occupy the space as much as possible. You can make it look longer, but not irrelevant. And for the people who have a lot of experiences and they kind of struggle with managing the space, what they can do is they can summarize pointers. Now, I'm not telling you to make it a paragraph, but you can summarize pointers means, like, for example, again, the very first point, case history taking, strengthening case history taking skills through detailed patient assessments. So, if you can just read it, there are two things mentioned here. First one is case history taking, second one is patient assessment, which are both very different things. In the first part, I've taken the case history. In the second part, I've also taken the assessments. So, I've added two pointers. People who want to fill the space, they can break this pointer. Strengthen case history taking skills. Second pointer can be have done patient assessments. Or maybe you can write the assessments names also to break it down. So you can use it in that way. Next slide. Another thing when it comes to work experience, um, a lot of you, I assume, may have a difficulty. What experience should you highlight? Or you should how you should add your experiences? Because sometimes when you go for an organization, you feel like, okay, this experience I should add at the top because it is really good. For example, if I go for a hospital and I want to work in a hospital for a job, I would really want if I should add RML or maybe Deen Dayal Upadhyay together because they are both hospitals and they will increase my chances of getting that job. So in that case, what I can do is I can add the dates written here just below the organization name rather than writing it here. So that whole my the work experience is not in a chronological order, but it looks decent at the same time. Right? Next slide. Now that we've covered our work experience component, I would really like to ask you how many of you have made mistakes in your work experience segment through whatever I have shared right now? And what mistakes did you make? You can unmute yourself or you can write in the chat box.
Can I speak?
Yes, Pankaj?
Like my mistake is I don't add my contact details in bold word. Don't add LinkedIn. मैंने अभी LinkedIn बनाया भी नहीं है. And that's my biggest mistake. Then my experience is unorganized. मतलब मैंने जो पहले दिया है वो सबसे एंड में है और जो लास्ट वाला था जो इम्पोर्टेंट भी नहीं है वो भी ऐड कर दिया। एजुकेशन सबसे एंड में जो फर्स्ट में होनी चाहिए थी। तो या
Okay.
देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ मिस्टेक।
तो आप उसको अभी सही कर सकते हो या फिर आप साथ साथ नोट कर सकते हो आपको क्या क्या सही करना है।
आई एम नॉट डाउन दिस ऑल स्टफ राइट वे।
ओके, ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रेट। ठीक है, कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल्स प्लीज हाईलाइट कर देना। एंड एनीबडी एल्स जिसने भी लिंक्डइन नहीं बनाया है, प्लीज लिंक्डइन बना लो, इट हेल्प्स अ लॉट। ओके, सौम्या has written detailed in paragraph to take up space. Okay, I hope I have elaborated upon this a lot and it's clear to you, Soumya. Didn't elaborate on work experience properly. Yes, Bhumi?
Um, Additionally, I want to say something, guys. In case you haven't made your LinkedIn, if you have doubts, there is a workshop which we have done. So if case we are going to send the link, you can make the LinkedIn from there. Easy process हो जाएगा. Okay, guys. So we'll share the links on the chat box too. Great.
I hope this will help you. Okay, Grace, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You've written in paragraph. Okay, I know I know there are a lot of changes that everybody will have to make, and I've made a lot of changes while I was making my resume. To be honest, when I made my first resume, I added my picture in it, which right now feel is very unprofessional, and I laugh on my resume that I made previously when I made my resume for the very first time. So if you have made mistakes, it is okay, and I'm truly proud of you because if you have made mistakes, you've tried making a CV. So it is a good thing, anyways. Can you give quick recap? Can I please give a quick recap at the end? Okay. Coming to the skills section. When we talk about the skills section, you do not have to add each and every talent that you have. You have to add all the skills that are relevant to the organization for which you are applying for. Now, when I say to the for the organization that you're applying for, what I meant here is before you apply for any organization, any setup, go through their website, go through their social medias or each and every information that is available on the internet regarding them and just see what they're exactly looking for, what sort of company it is, what are they expecting, how are they working, how many people do they have in their team if it is mentioned there, who are the people who are working there, check their profiles out, and then maybe you can, add things that are aligning with you in the skills section. That will increase your chances. At the same time, you can also, work on the work experience thing in that way only. Like I just mentioned, check the organization. Now, when we talk about the skills section, also in this section, be very precise, use as many adjectives possible, be very, specific and to the point. Do not use generic phrases and also check for the grammatical mistakes here. And also another thing, if you have done a resume, maybe a diploma or something, and that is the reason you have added a particular skill here, you can maybe give a hyphen and then just tag your kind of diploma details and write down your diploma details there to just give them an evidence of, okay, this is the skill and this is why I'm mentioning this skill. It will just increase your chances of getting towards the interview round. And also, please do not add skills that you feel like you're lacking. If you feel you can work on the specific skill, go ahead, write it down. But please do not write down anything that you have not learned or you have not, you feel like you're less confident about it. Next. Can we also add certificate in place of diploma? Sure, you can definitely add. If you've done a particular thing and you feel like, okay, this is my skill because I've done this thing, please add that. It's kind of giving them an evidence. And you can also explain this thing during the interview round. Next slide. For example, I have added skills here that I have already done in my internships. So all my internships are kind of evidence for all the skills that I've mentioned here. I've mentioned about effective communication and active listening. That is a really very important part when it comes to a therapist role. That is very important for me as a therapist. When we talk about rapport building and client engagement, if I go for a private sector job, they will require me to have a good rapport building thing in me. Because if I do not have that, I'll not be able to tackle things. Case history taking and psychological assessment. Now, this is something every trainee psychologist, every psychologist knows, and they have to learn it. It comes under our theoretical knowledge itself. The degree I am pursuing, all of these things come under that. The research and the data analysis part, I've mentioned about my research internship. So I've mentioned this skill as well because I've mentioned a lot of evidence there. Next slide. Can we get this PPT for reference? Bhumi, can you take this up?
Guys, we are going to give the whole lecture for recording and everything will be given on our YouTube channel. So kindly subscribe to it, and we are going to all the information which we are saying here, all the recording will be shared. Uh, all right.
Please show the previous slide once.
Guys, the screenshots and everything will be given in the video, so you can take screenshot from the direct from the YouTube channel. Let's continue with the webinar, and you can refer to it. In 2 to 3 days, the video will be out. Great. Let's continue with the webinar.
Okay.
Then on to you.
Next slide. Okay, this is the last component of our CV, that is community service. Now, I have added community service because I've done volunteer things and I've done two community services as well. So I've added this. Now, if you've not done a community service, it is okay, it is fine, it's not a problem. You may come from another background, so you may add details as per your background, as per your sector. You can add your contact details if you do not have anything available. That is also fine. You just need to fill the space. And in case you do not have much space, you can avoid using this particular component. You do not have to mention this. Also, in case you do not have anything else to mention, you can also mention about the extracurricular activities, maybe your hobbies that can align with the organization itself. So you can mention such details here. Next. But just be sure if you are adding these details, it is impactful and it is meaningful. And it is just not to, fill the space. For example, I've done two community services, I've added it here. Next. Then comes the extracurricular activities. Now I've added extracurricular activities that are relevant to my specific field. I am a trainee psychologist, and mandala is something that I actually like doing, and it is a kind of hobby for me. But at the same time, mandala comes under expressive art therapy. So it is relevant and it is in kind of alignment with my own field. So I've added something very in alignment with my field to try doing that. Next slide. In the extracurricular activities, you can also mention about any sort of leadership skill that you have. For example, if you're a part of any committee in your college, you can add that here. By not adding the extracurricular and adding about the responsibilities that you're handling. Here I have given two examples of how you can write about the extracurricular or maybe the technical skills, how you can make another heading for your own self. The last heading is very, very kind of um, it's up to you. Like, you can add anything and everything that you want to add, be it your contact details, be it extracurricular, be it your skills, be it any course that you have done, be it maybe a responsibility, position of responsibility, a committee that you're a part of. Next slide. Now, the last is contact information. I know you have added your contact in the header section, but I've added this specific component because in case you have two numbers, why not give them two numbers? If you're using two numbers, give them two numbers, don't take a chance. And in case you do not have much space, in case you have a lot of work experience, avoid using this section, avoid adding this section because you have already added every detail in the header itself. So it depends. Now, it is another tactic how you can use the space because you need to make the CV at least of 2 pages. So either expand it by using such headings so that it does not even look like you are kind of bulging in more of information which is irrelevant. It is a relevant information. They need your contact details. But at the same time, if you have added it in your header, it is not necessary that you add it again if you do not have space. Right? Next section. Next slide, sorry. Now coming to the common mistakes. Next slide. Now that we have almost completed all the components and everything that you should add in your CV, we have kind of taken a look from the header to the last component of a CV. I really want to ask you all, can you guys just tell me what were the things that you felt were kind of inappropriately done in your CV that you've opened right now? You can drop it in the chat box. You can raise hand and unmute yourself. Yes, Soumya, please go ahead.
I think maybe it was not updated, and also had written things in a paragraph format instead of a bullet point format. Then in my contact information, I had only added like my uh, work email, and I had not added my phone number, which is a huge mistake. And my education, I had just added a slight bit, and I had not added a lot of stuff that I've actually done.
Okay. So I'm assuming the workshop kind of meant to be insightful for you.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Okay. I can see a lot of people writing in paragraph. I believe you will change those paragraph into pointers, right? Can I get a thumbs up from all the people who have written in paragraphs and they'll change it into pointers? Great job, buddies. Okay, adding picture is professional or not? Adding pictures looks like unprofessional, but it also kind of depends upon the setting you're applying for. How about color? Is it too much? Try taking a plain white resume because that looks more professional and it's kind of to the point and objective. And also ATS, if it's simple looking, like very elegant, the ATS would accept it. The chances are higher. Okay, now let's talk about the common mistakes to avoid. Overloading unnecessary details, writing in paragraphs, right? Avoid doing that. Using vague description like worked in a hospital rather than that, just write down what did you do. Worked in a hospital, you can clearly mention an organization name. You've mentioned organization name and then you write worked in a hospital. It looks kind of vague and at the same time irrelevant because you're already mentioning the organization name. It seems to be a hospital's name. So then writing it down and working in a hospital seems to be a bit irrelevant. So rather, you write whatever you've done in that hospital. Talk about the things that you've done. Please, 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 whenever you make your resume, when it is done, go through the whole resume and check the grammatical mistakes as well as the spellings. Use Grammarly on करके रखो whenever you are making CV so that your grammatical mistakes and spelling mistakes are kind of identified then and there. At the same time, avoid using pronouns, avoid using full on sentences. For example, I took case history, or maybe I did this. Try avoiding that. Next slide. Next slide. Slide 24. Okay. Now that we are done with it, we have a checklist here and the resumes that you have in your hand. I want you to go through this checklist and just check if the current resume that you have meet all these pointers or not. If not, mention all the pointers that it is not meeting. You can also mention the pointers it is meeting. The first point is, does it fit 1 or 2 pages? If it is exceeding 2 pages, then circle this pointer for yourself so that you remember that you have to fix this. Are the headings clear and bold in the current resume? Like, do you have headings in your current resume or is it going in a flow? Is formatting consistent and readable? Are the font consistent? Great job. I can see a lot of thumbs ups. Are the verbs action oriented and specific? The things that you have mentioned, are they action oriented and specific and to the point? Okay, I want you to be very honest and tell me, do you think that you have added unnecessary content in your resume? I did add a lot of unnecessary content in my resume when I initially drafted it for the first time. And I cannot see even a thumbs up. I feel like I did a lot of mistakes, maybe. Yes, to make it bigger. I'm proud of your honesty, Jatin. Even I did that. When I did not have any experience, I did make it big by adding a lot of irrelevant stuff. Is a cover letter required in a resume? No, Suchita. Yes, I did. Okay, so now do you know that you can make it relevant at the same time you can avoid adding unnecessary content even if you have less of experience right now by making it in sections, making it in component wise? Okay. We are done with the whole formatting. We are done with all the mistakes that we could have identified within our resumes. And I believe that all of you have insight about the mistakes that you have made and how can you correct it too. In case you want to ask any question, feel free to do so. You can unmute yourself. You can write in the chat box. Thank you for the clapping.
Hi.
Yes, Suchita ji.
See, the resume, as you said, I think yours is made like you have made. This is a presentation to be made on Canva or normal looks good, or should it look good on Canva?
To be honest, Canva provides a lot of templates and you do not have to, worry about the alignment.
Okay.
So it is up to you if you want to use Canva or any other site, or maybe even just, Microsoft Office.
Yeah.
You can use whatever you are comfortable with and whatever is easy for you to use. But it should be in a specific format, and the alignment should be proper. And also, just, whenever you're making it, try checking if it is ATS verified or not.
Yeah.
You can select a template through Canva itself,
Mhm.
but it should be verified through ATS.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, is there any specific template that we need to use? Um, Shanmukhi, you can check on Canva. There are a lot of templates available there. You can edit it as per your need, or there are also a lot of sites that you can check out. At the same time, you can make your resume in Microsoft as well. You can minimize the border so that you use more of space. If you have a lot of work experience, you can minimize the border in it, so it will use just this much space for the border, and you can use the whole page. If you have less of experiences, you can obviously broaden the border. Okay, Manadas, how do you find about ATS verified? You can check it on Google. There are a lot of websites for this. Yes, Soumya.
I have been involved in a lot of college-oriented projects like organizing social initiative and
Hmm.
also managing a college fest.
Hmm.
So should I include that under my projects or
You can make another heading for that. I believe you can add position of responsibilities or something like that. And then you can add all the details that you have for college, because I am also involved in a committee, and I'm a peer trainer in my college. So I have added that. If
okay,
it is relevant and it is aligning with the organization that you want to apply for, go ahead and add it.
okay, thank you.
Welcome. Yes, Pankaj.
Like I want to say, just I start my masters in 2025. मतलब MA in psychology. I recently start. Before that, in my bachelor, I do a lots of work in every different area, like event management,
Hmm.
NGO internships, tourist guide, etc. Now I
Hmm.
want to work in psychology sector only. But so
Hmm.
for this, I don't have any experience. How will I
Hmm.
feel personal experience in this
Okay.
line?
So is it like, how do you add all those experiences in your resume before applying for something?
Yeah.
ओके, सो मे बी आप उन सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस को इस तरीके से लाइन अप करो कि वो अलाइन करे पहले तो, जहाँ जिस जगह पे आप अप्लाई करना चाहते हो, क्योंकि आप जिस भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में या जिस भी सेटअप में पहले आप करके निकले होगे, इवन इट इज इवेंट मैनेजमेंट, आपने कम्युनिकेशन तो किया लोगों से,
Hmm.
बिना कम्युनिकेशन के तो आपका काम नहीं बना होगा.
No, I do
You do
this.
have skills,
Yep.
so you can present it in that way, and you can clarify that during the interview round,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
right? Welcome. Any more questions or doubts? Yes, Pankaj? Okay. If you have any doubt and you're not able to maybe, unmute yourself, you can write it down in the chat box.
Guys, we would love to hear your doubts. This is the time. This is the time you should share your doubts and your queries right now, because I think Naradi can help you out in a very detailed manner. In case you don't have any doubts, give me a thumbs up. If you still have doubts, raise your hands so we can still clear them out, or we can conclude with the session today.
Yes,
I
Bhavya?
think. Okay. Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank you, for conducting this workshop, and I'm genuinely, really appreciate it. And thank you so much. It's really been helpful. And I was having the doubt that okay, so in my resume, if I talk about it, so basically, about the education, I've written the university name and the currently I'm in second year. So about the year, I've written the graduation date, May 2027. So is it like okay or like not yet graduated or
Okay. Thank you so much for the feedback, Bhavya, first of all. Second, it is okay. I mean, if you have started your graduation right now and you're writing about the end year of your graduation, it is totally fine because you're telling them kind of that, okay, I have not written my result because I'm currently pursuing it. So it is fine.
okay, okay. So so just like we have to write the May 2027. That's it, or like do we have to
No, no.
elaborate? Okay,
You can write the whole year, starting and beginning,
okay. Thank you so much,
so
ma'am.
that they know in which year you are.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. And I would like to ask my second doubt. Okay, so my second doubt is regarding the skills and interests. So so skills and interests, I've write it like this. The words only the words. Like if I talk about the skills, like documentation and reporting, APA formatting for academic writing, analytical and observational skills, which is relevant to the internships that I did. Okay, so like, do
Hmm.
we have to elaborate it or just the words on the skills and interest?
Try using adjectives here. Try
Okay.
making it in a sentence जहाँ पे कुछ adjective आप add कर दो
Mm-hmm.
so that it kind of, you know, explains whatever you want to say
Okay,
and it is
okay,
not lengthy.
okay. Ma'am, if you don't mind, could you please give me an example?
Okay, sure. I can show you an example.
Yes, ma'am.
Bhumi, can we get back to the slide? So this is the skills section. Bhumi,
Yes,
next
ma'am.
slide. So for example, this is the skills section. And now I have also kind of done a lot of things, maybe just like case history taking and psychological assessments. I did not have much space to exaggerate it because I had a lot of work experience to add. And my resume is like filled. Whole 2 pages are filled, and I really need to kind of um, take things out right now. I
Mm.
had to take few experiences out just to put in certain things. So I have written it in just a sentence rather than exaggerating it. But in case you have space and you're new and you do not have much of experiences, you can elaborate it itself. For example, I've written psychodiagnostic testing and interpretation. So you maybe can write about the test that you have conducted, right? You can give a hyphen and name the test that you have conducted.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, Suchita ji.
Yeah, I was wanting to ask you, like, I do take students who are doing their masters and give them internship, students from MIT University. And I am also affiliated with a community which is in Pakistan. And there are students, uh, they are doing psychology. There are some psychologists whom I teach. I take the classes
Hmm.
like batch wise, just because I have
Hmm.
done diploma in child psychology, so I take classes for child psychology. Then I take their classes for counseling psychology, and another one where I have done a diploma in dark psychology. So they asked me to give, a lecture, like to some students. They wanted to know what is dark psychology. So I've been
Hmm.
doing all this. So all this comes in what skills, or where should I write?
Okay. So, is it like, um, is it something that you do when you're free, or is it your main work?
No, it's side by side. Like now, recently, I've been getting internship students.
Hmm.
So one is coming to my clinic, and others are like uh, doing with my other two friends.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
do
Hmm.
offline, I do online internship for them, classes. So it's like that.
Hmm.
it's not included in my counseling sessions or anything. But yes, because those students are from MIT, and the friends of mine who have started, they are also MIT students. So they just, asked me, ma'am, will you help us out? So I said, yes, okay, fine. But the community which is in Pakistan, I was affiliated much, much longer back.
Mm-hmm.
So there I was conducting workshops for them. I was conducting
Right, right,
webinars
right,
for them, and
right,
plus giving them classes.
right. So I feel like you can maybe make a heading and write it down under co-curricular activities or co-curricular engagements.
Okay.
Just like I have made it extracurricular and I've added about mandala and my
Yeah.
Instagram, that is Psychwood Kid, you can add co-curricular activities or co-curricular engagements and then note down all the things that you've mentioned right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Bhumi?
Okay, so something I want to ask is that as you were saying that you have to remove few things from your resume, by year when the experience increases, do we have to change our resume? That's something I really wanted to ask, that how often should we change our resume, and how, like, do you understand, like how much time do we take to give the resume an update?
Okay. There is no specific time limit or time range that you should update your resume like that. It depends upon whenever you're going to apply for some other organization. For example, I want to apply for job which is a private clinic. Now, in that case, I will keep my government internships at the top, at the same time, my private hospital internship. Because I know that I've worked in a private setup before, the chances are higher that they will accept me. At the same time, because they know that I've worked in a government sector before, again, the chances are high that they will accept me because I've taken a lot of patients there. And because I want to apply for a private setup, I will also change the things that I've written under my government internship. Maybe I'll write the number of patients that I've dealt with. Because if it's a private setup, their kind of goals would be more of patient intake. So I'll have to write the amount of patients that I've managed. And when it comes to, like, when I mentioned that I want to, cut down certain things, I have mentioned that thing because I have a lot of experience and I do not have much things to add. So this is what I can do, that if I want to apply for a private clinic and I'm clear that I'm going to apply for this specific private clinic, I'll check their site and I know that okay, there is something, maybe a research project that is not that much aligning with this specific clinic. I'll remove that and rather I will exaggerate the part that is more needed, right? So you decide it on the basis of where you want to apply and then you update it as per that specific organization or institution. I hope I made your doubt clear.
Yes, Dee, you made it very simpler. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, Parth?
It's a simple question. So, for example, if I say publish a study, any sort of study in
Hmm.
a journal, in a
Hmm.
scientific journal, then where would I exactly put that part in the entire CV? I doubt education में डाल सकते हैं, nor extracurricular में डाल सकते हैं. I don't know where to put that part exactly.
You can make another heading for yourself. If you do not have extracurricular like headings like extracurricular, you can make a heading for yourself, research experience. I did have research experience, but it is just two experiences, and I feel like I should not add it separately. If I have something published, then I can make another column for myself where I add all the research space internship at the same time things that I've published. See, the headings are not kind of very specific and very kind of, you know, that you need to make this heading in this specific manner only and you need to add this specific information. It is just in in the case of your contact details, your education, not, I'm so sorry, but not in the case of your work experience. You can make headings for yourself depending upon the work experience that you have.
Got it. Got it. Thanks.
Okay. Are there any doubts left? I think my dog has a doubt right now. Okay. I think there was a doubt in the chat box. Just a second. Um, um, okay. Manat, the specific place that you've mentioned here, was it an internship or a community service
It
or
was
a
a
volunteer?
college program. It
Hmm.
was given by our college only. So मतलब community service में आएगा या फिर internship वाले column में I have to add.
It was a mandatory program by your college.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you exactly do under it, if you can share about it?
Basically we made flyers. We had to interact with different shopkeepers. We had to promote knowledge related to food safety and hygiene. So all
Mm-hmm.
काम and जाके
Mm-hmm.
शॉपकीपर्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट वगैरह करना सोशल मीडिया थ्रू मार्केटिंग मतलब तो यही सब
Mm-hmm.
था.
ओके, यू कैन ऐड इट इन आइदर ऑफ द फॉलोइंग. सी, अगर आपके पास में ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं इंटर्नशिप के अंडर, तो कम्युनिटी सर्विस के नाम पे डाल दो. डिपेंड्स अपॉन द सर्टिफिकेट दैट यू हैव गॉट आल्सो ना. सर्टिफिकेट के ऊपर क्या लिखा हुआ है?
मतलब इट वाज अ प्रॉपर इंटर्नशिप ओनली वैसे मतलब लिखा हुआ था इंटर्नशिप ही
तो
बट
फिर
या वो
इंटर्नशिप के अंदर डाल दो.
बट वो एक्चुअली थोड़ा कम्युनिटी सर्विस से रिलेटेड है ना तो थोड़ा डाउट हो रहा था मेरे को इसलिए.
सी, राइट, डाउट जायज है. अगर आप किसी ऐसी जगह पे आगे चल के काम करने वाले हो जहाँ पे कम्युनिटी सर्विस की अहमियत है, देन राइट इट अंडर कम्युनिटी सर्विस. If you want to show something that you've done for the society, then go for it. Present it in such way.
राइट.
Right. Do competitive exams hold any space in the resume? Why not? They definitely hold a lot of um 1 second. They definitely hold a lot of place in your resume. If you have cleared any sort of competitive exam, definitely write it down. Bold में डाल दो, मैं तो कह रही हूँ. क्यों नहीं डालोगे आप? आपने अपना अगर मेहनत करी है तो. Just make it another heading. As I said, you can change the headings as per your need. So do that. What if I've appeared but not clear? You can talk about that in the interview then. Then do not mention it in your resume. If you feel you have got a really good rank, definitely mention it. If you feel the rank was not up to the mark, talk about it in the interview itself, because every experience matters. एंड आपने अगर प्रिपेयर भी करा है किसी competitive एग्जाम के लिए, तो आप पढ़े हो, आपने मेहनत करी है, तो उस मेहनत को बताओ फिर. बट उसको रिज्यूमे में मत डालो उस वक्त के लिए. दैट्स व्हाट आई बिलीव. इफ यू फील लाइक एडिंग इट, डेफिनेटली गो फॉर इट. You're welcome, Grace. I love your name, by the way. Okay, are we done with the doubts? Is there anything anybody else would like to ask? If we are done with the doubts and you guys liked and you definitely got any insight, be it just one level of insight, please drop a heart. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody.
They loved it. They didn't like it. They loved it.
I'm loving the hearts.
Me too. It's making me smile. Wow. Love it. Love it. Love it. Keep going. I won't let the love being stop. Uh,
Thank you so much, Miss Naina, for that insightful session. I'm sure our audience has gained a lot of valuable perspective. Now we would love for our founder, Bhumi, to give her insights.
guys, hi. Hello. I hope you are doing well. I am so grateful. I think The audience is too active in this webinar, better than last time, and I feel like so grateful about that. That you guys are very interactive, very active, and you're asking your doubts, you're reacting on your own. It's so great to see the community coming. That's why I do. That's why, like me and Anadi have collaborated on this project. We did this thing because we know how much necessary a CV workshop was in the field of psychology, or even for the people of other fields. That's why whenever you're seeing the PPTs, we have given two reference, one from the psychology field, one from the non-psychology field. So you can take reference from both, right? Um Guys, it was such a wonderful webinar. I had my doubts cleared from Nenadi. You guys had your doubts cleared from her. She was very insightful. I'm so grateful about that. I would initially thank my team, specifically Anjali and Ashwi. They are the backbone of this webinar. Without them, this webinar won't be happening here. Guys, my team works a lot. So please do leave love hearts for them. They deserve it. They have earned it. Okay. Apart from that, I am grateful for all of you who have decided to remove 2 hours of their Sunday peaceful time to join this webinar and be interactive with us, because it's necessary to know about it. And I hope and know that it was insightful for everyone, right? So I'm grateful for everyone who has joined in. In case you have any doubts, you can leave in the comment there. We are going to share our socials for that. Social media. So that thank you for guys. Am I audible? Anjali,
Your voice is echoing.
um, Anjali, please continue.
They are not audible.
Anjali, hello, please continue.
To everyone who joined us today, thank you for being a part of this enlightening discussion. Let's continue to break barriers and advocate for mental well being in our communities. Until next time, stay inspired, stay mindful, and keep learning. We have also started an initiative of DSM self study group. If you're interested to join, please fill out our forms in our social group. If anyone hasn't filled out the Excel sheet, please do so ASAP for the certificate. Certificates will be sent to you within 1 week. And have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much, Naina Didi.
Thank you so much, everyone. So sorry. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in the session. I hope it was insightful for each and every one of you. And I hope your 2 hours were useful. Okay. Thank you for all the heart for you guys. And hello for my dog too. Okay. See you guys some other day, maybe with another session. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Ashri. Thank you, Manna. Thank you, Gopesh. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Bhavya. Thank you, Kashish. Thank you, Sespreet. Thank you, Mannat. Thank you, Suchita ji. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kashish. Thank you, Parth. Bye bye. Thank you, Dolly. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining in, people.
Thank you for joining in. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Am I audible now?
You're audible now, Bhumi.
Yeah.
I don't know why my internet is failing at the end. But it was an insightful session. Anyone has doubt can you can ask. Otherwise, the meeting is officially ended. You guys can leave. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to give us follow and do follow us both. I'm going to share the socials in the group also. Do stay tuned, guys. Thank you. Thank you.